everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Toku Thrill channel, and for another episode of our GoZyuger reviews. This time it is episode 22, titled something I need to look up quickly.
Something that you can see on the screen, so we don't even really need to go on this tangent.
I know. A benefit, annoyance. This is how to save money.
There you go. Great name.
Love the name. Amazing. 10 out of 10. And can I just say, right off the bat, I fucking called it, didn't I?
Nightstar, you didn't even introduce me yet.
Oh, sorry. I got ahead of myself because I was excited. But yes, I am joined by the wonderful American Riley.
Hey everybody, I'm here. Welcome to Toku Thrill.
I didn't introduce myself either. Hey guys, it's Night Stuff. Fucking hell, I am off my game today.
Nobody cares who you are. They want to know who I'm kidding.
Like the freaking Stephen He headshot meme. Dead. But yeah, right off the bat, I called it, didn't I? Last episode.
Was your big prediction? Remind the audience. I, of course, remember, but remind the audience.
Of course you remember, but for the audience that might not remember, last week I said, well, depending on when this video is released, but last episode,
Whenever. Yeah.
I claimed that I thought Ray, I think was his name, was going to be the one that kidnapped Oto. And
Oh
wouldn't you
yeah.
know, he was.
I mean, I feel like that was heavily implied. I wouldn't pat yourself too hard on the back for that one. I think they kind of put the text on the screen for you pretty much, but now they have fully given away the goat, and we now know that this man, who we also meet face to face today, is the one who took Oto. We don't really know why yet, but we know he did it.
Yeah, we know that he needs help with something. Oh, we know that much. But the general plot of this episode was Hawaru was trying to save up money, and it's a heat wave, and in order to help save, he had to walk a long distance in that heat wave because he didn't want to get public transportation because it costs money, which I don't care how expensive it is. I am paying for that transportation if it means not walking for ages in the heat. Because
Well,
I
nights
hate.
there, I walk to work and I live in Florida, so I it sucks, but I'm used to it. It takes a pretty hot day for me to not be able to walk.
I will say that I've heard that every single American that comes to the UK has said the same thing, and that is that the UK sun hits different. We have a terrible heat problem.
Yikes.
So he's got that going on, and of course, because he has that problem, the no one that shows up just so happens to be a savings no one, and they get into a back and forth between who's better at saving, and it kind of knocks Hoero into this existential crisis because he has no reason to save, so he's just being cheap.
Yeah, we're back on how he doesn't have a dream, and because he doesn't have a dream, he has nothing he's saving for, and because of that, according to the monster, he's just cheap. And Hoeru has a little has a little fit where he's like, oh, maybe he's right. Maybe this monster who's just trying to get in my head so that he can win the #1 battle is right.
And every single and that led to a weird moment where every member of his team just went cheap, 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 cheap.
They all turned into birds for a minute.
Yeah, they did. And the monster just looked at him and went, cheap. And then he went flying.
He went.
Um,
It reminds me of the samurai episode where the guy. You remember that one where the monster insults you and you go flying, but it doesn't work on Emily because she's so strong-willed.
lousy cook. I think that's what he said, but he said something to Mia about being a terrible cook, and she was like, "Wait, what?" Went flying.
You're boring. He calls Kevin boring. Boring. Ah.
Not wrong. Um, so, so there's that going on, and then we see things like, oh, that woman who I'm still not sure what her relation to Hoero is, apart from just being the landlord. That might just be it. Um, she's like, well, it's not all about that. You find interesting things to do, like, uh, she taught him how you can find cheap foods and make them interesting, like bread crust, deep frying them or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was interesting. Where does he even is it implied that he purchased bread crust from a store? Because he said it's cheap, but like what happened to the bread? Did you take it off the bread and then set it aside so you had like more later? Or did you somehow purchase bread crusts?
Maybe the bread crust just come from mothers who cut the crust off of their kids' sandwiches and they sell them for cheap in shops.
Yeah.
Uh,
That should be like an app. There'll be apps where like bakeries will give away their food they're gonna throw away or whatever. There should be an app where if you're a mother and you're cutting the crust off of a sandwich, someone could come buy the crust from you.
honestly, I think Craigslist would probably be a good place to do that.
I guess you could just use Craigslist.
Um, but yeah, so Huero comes back with a chip in his step, and he's like, "Yeah, well, there's more to saving than just not spending money." And he wins the fight. Well, no, he starts fighting, but they get interrupted because I completely glossed over this. There's a lot that I glossed over because it was hours ago that I watched this. But
Yeah.
Fire Candle was back.
Fire Candle is back as to be expected. We have the ongoing Fire Candle Shinken Red plot, and he got himself the Orca booster today, which I
Oh,
assume might be a thing from Shinkenger, but I don't remember it from Samurai. But it's pretty cool.
we will talk about that. But the first thing he got today was the Go Buster ring.
Oh yes, that too.
He was fight. He went up to the guy that was selling. Was it hot dogs or corn dogs or something like that?
I don't remember what the food vendor was selling, but food.
Food vendor, and he was like, "Give me some of that." I was like, "Oh, well, that's gonna be so and so price." He's like, "No, your ring." And then, "Oh, well, you're committing a crime." And then he sped off, which I was thinking in my head, is this gonna be Car Ranger again? Because the world has reset. Is this gonna be where we see a Car Ranger ring? But no, that was the Red Buster ring. And then they get into a fight, which Red Buster loses very quickly. And he was so cocky as well. He was like, "See, I'm so fast that no one can hit me."
It's the
And
kind
then,
of enemy where like in this type of show where there's like It reminds me of something like Beyblade, where there's like an ongoing competition between a bunch of people. You're presented with a character, and they seem competent, so you can assume in your mind that as compared to maybe other combatants that we don't see, they're like higher than average in skill. But they're put up against a main character who is exceptional, and they get their ass kicked. That seems to be what happened here. I presume this is a pretty competent ring battler, but not against Fire Candle.
Yeah, no, because Fire Candle was like, well, I can still see you. And in one slice of his sword, Red Buster was down and Fire Candle took the ring.
More
And
and more rings for Fire Candle.
another thing that I missed, probably the weirdest part of the episode, right at the start, didn't get any focus apart from it happening, was um Bouquet had a shrine and she was praying. But do you remember who she was praying to?
Oh shit, I was muted. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Shit, man. This is like a genuinely like the shrine on its own is just like girl shit, right? And other than that, this had been like a fairly mature, well told love story. And now she's praying to the shrine, and that's ruined. Now
Yeah.
it's gone too far.
If you haven't figured it out by now, viewers, she was praying to Rikuo.
You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, don't pray to an idol that you have a crush on. That's just no.
Oh, Olivia Rodrigo, won't you guide me in my quest?
I was gonna make a similar joke, but I couldn't think of anyone. Um, in my head. Amy Jo Johnson, guide me. Um, so fast forward all the way back to that fight from before, and now that the important things I've talked about. Um, so all the other GoZyugers, including Goju Polar, because he did show up and he was like, "Oh, you need a prayer," uh, and then he was like, "Wait,
Prayer,
saving?
huh? Why don't you pray to me? And they're like, oh, Kumade, are you good at doing a savings? And he's like, what the fuck does that even mean? How dare you say that word around me?
Is that a new type of honey?"
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah. So they're all fighting, and Fire Candle shows up, and they hold him off while Haweru fights Savings number one. And how Fire Candle showed up was he did something which is, I'm pretty certain, a first in this season. It's very interesting.
Oh?
He mixed two powers of rings together because he had the speed of Go Busters and the explosiveness of, I think, Dynaman or Flashman. And he
I
became this.
believe it was shit. Now I'm second guessing myself. It was Flashman, I think. I don't know. One of the two.
I think it was Flashman. So he mixed those rings together and just became this giant bomb thing flying around. And uh, but he was still losing when Hoeru turned into I know the suit, but I forget the name of the season. Bokenja? I think it was Bokenja.
Yeah. Operation Overdrive? Yes, Bokenger.
Oh yeah, a Jova Drive season. Um, and he got this water cannon, and he encased him in ice basically, and even Fire Candle started to pray this episode because it was like, whoever, I don't care who, just give me the strength to win. And this is where it comes in. This is where we see frickin' the Orca show up, and it gives Fire Candle a new suit upgrade, which is the white coat.
Yes, Super Samurai mode in the flesh.
And not the Super Samurai mode from Ninja Storm.
Yeah, no, that's a different Super Samurai mode.
Super Samurai mode. No, we had the. I'm not sure what the Super Samurai mode was called in Shinkenger. Can't even find it. It might not even be a thing in Shinkenger. I haven't seen the season, but he gets that suit and an Orca gun thing, which wrecks house. Fuck me.
Yeah, that fucking Orca gun, quite powerful.
Like, he was destroying a whole building in a few shots, and they had to retreat. And that was where the episode ended. Of course, there were other things like the actual #1 battle where they were competing.
Wait, did we talk about? I'm sorry, I was tuned out for a second. Did we talk about the twist? The twist ending? Because it sounds like
Oh,
you just said it ended with the regular battle ending.
oh yeah, I forgot. No, I'm stupid. I forget what I said. As they're running off, they run into Rikuo, and they're like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. We need more help against Fire Candle. He's much stronger now." And Rikuo just points the gun, like at his own gun, and he's like, "Guys, I'm sorry." And he just shoots them all, and it actually ends with him pointing the gun at Hoeru.
Yeah,
That's where it ends.
he shoots everyone else, and then Hoeru's like, "What's going on?" And he's aiming the gun at Hoeru, and that's the big standoff that we end with.
It's implied that he's doing this because he owes Ray a favor.
What's the favor? Who's Ray, and what does he have to do with the GoZyugers?
Ray was the grey-eyed man.
Well, I know that much, but like, what? We don't know anything about who he actually is, like what he does, and for what purposes.
Aside from the fact that he knew Rikuo, and apparently he was the reason that Rikuo started going into his idol career to try and make him smile. Apparently he was the reason that I'm getting involved with Rikuo in some kind of way is what caused what happened to him, whatever that was, because he just showed some kind of scar on his arm. And he said, "Oh, this is I sacrificed a lot to help you. I think it's your turn to help me." Or something like that. I don't
By
remember.
killing your friends for some reason. How are your friends relevant to me? No stupid questions.
Do you think this might be related to the X scar that Kuon has on his back?
Oh, maybe.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Exciting stuff.
Very.
So let's go Juger, I think, today. There's some setup in this one, but other than that, it felt kind of uneventful. Like, this is a
Yeah,
very milk toast episode of Go Juger, I think.
there wasn't even a Megazord fight this episode.
No.
They did bring back Nazi-looking guy.
Yeah, the Nazi looking guys are back.
Number 1. What did I miss? I know there were the actual number one competition things like um, don't buy those lunch things unless there's a discount on them. But actually, here's an easier trick: just apply the stickers yourself. You're like, oh, that's
Where it was
smart.
like, whoa, holy shit. And they're like, that's just a crime. Don't be impressed by that.
Impressed as a crime. And then we see, I forget his name, but Green Eagle Boy, um,
Kinjiro?
a Kinjiro, yeah. He's taking a bath. Oh, I could use a bit more hot water. And whoever just rushes in with empty plastic bottles, drops them in, and he's like, um, fill your bathtub with water to save hot water.
Well, no, the idea is the bottles create additional weight, which makes the water
Yeah,
go up.
it rises
So that it's
upwards. Yeah,
higher up on you, and thus you don't need the new water anymore. It's actually not that bad of a trick if it's real. That's actually kind of an interesting one.
I think it would work because that is how water works. If you put something in it, it rises up.
My only thought though is like, would an empty plastic bottle create enough weight? I feel like you'd have to put like a rock in there or something.
I think it's less about weight and more about the surface area.
Maybe. Anyway, enough
Uh,
about bathtub science.
yeah, I'm trying to think of any of the other number one savings tricks that they pulled. I don't think there were many at all.
I don't think for an episode that was very number one battle centric, there wasn't that much number one battle.
It kind of felt like, oh, this time, in order to be number one at this, you just have to beat the other in a fight.
Which I wish would happen more, but
Yeah,
has there been like number one fighter? Because that will be such a refreshing episode. I imagine the show will acknowledge that if they do that. It's like, oh, number one fighter. That makes this a lot easier then. 'Cause that's usually how this ends anyway.
I just skip right to the punch. I imagine they'd handle it like, and they'd need to have an honorable fight and go over what makes an honorable duel first, and then they would get
Yeah,
the fight.
yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, I think we've hit everything. I think we can do our wrap up questions.
So any thoughts or predictions about the upcoming episodes?
Uh, Nothing concrete. Like I'm pretty. I just want to know what the fuck this guy's end game is. Gray haired man, Ray, not gray hair, gray eyed.
Yeah,
What the fuck Ray's end game is? What even is going on with that? But I have no guesses. The show hasn't really given me anything to go on besides Rikuo really likes him. And one time he was at Rikuo's concert and he was like, your singing's gay. That's all we know about him.
yeah, he's pretty hard to get a lock on. I don't know if I can think of any.
I wonder if the X thing is connected, like you say, that could
Yeah,
leave the door open for Oto to make a sudden return as a bad guy, which would be quite intriguing.
like an evil red ring wielder.
Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe fucking Fire Candle gets that ring knocked loose, and Odo comes back, and everybody's like, "Oh, Odo got the ring back," but actually she's evil though, because she's got the X on her back.
That's a good prediction. I like where that's going. Uh, Honestly, I think you've covered everything that I could possibly think of. Because we haven't seen Kuon today, so I imagine he's doing something behind the screens.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got big plans.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
But who was your favorite character in this episode, Nightster?
I'm gonna say Fire Candle.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair one for sure. He does some ass kicking.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path. I don't even know her real name. I don't think the show has said it much. But I'm gonna give it to Landlady because she came in clutch with the frying of the bread crust. It was just really nice.
it was nice. Yeah, I can't blame you.
And I didn't like this episode that much, so this was one of the shining lights. Was aw, that's so sweet of her. So I'm gonna give it to Landlady.
And do you have a favorite scene?
Uh, hmm. I'll give that to Fire Candle kicking the shit out of them with the worker blaster because that was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was.
What about you?
Um, I think I'm gonna give favorite scene to um when he first rushes them as the Flashman plus Go Buster orb, and just because it introduces the idea of being able to use two abilities of rings at once, and I like that.
That's fair. Now, when it comes to rating it out of 10, folks, part of me doesn't want to be too mean to it, but part of me also wants to make sure that it doesn't blend together with episodes I just kind of like. Because, like, I don't dislike this episode heavily. Like, there's nothing that really made me upset, but there's also nothing that, like, set it apart and made it good to me. It was like, it's setting up that big twist for next episode, but I imagine that's gonna be a lot more interesting next episode when we actually learn more about it. Right now, it's just kind of a shock way to end an episode. And this one was just, it was very number one battle centric. They didn't do enough to make me care about the number one battle. There's just very little character depth. But again, I don't dislike it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and strike it right down the middle, and I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, it was very middle of the road in general. I was also looking at a 5, but I'm gonna go 5.5 just because I did like the fire candle stuff.
That's
So I
fair.
think
That's fair.
that gave it a bit of an edge, but not enough for a full point.
Well, there
And
we go, folks. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like episode 22 of GoZyuger is over.
God, oh, you son of bitch.
Son of bitch.
You son of bitch.
It's asshole, son of bitch.
Serta, son of a bitch. You're still alive.
Nightster, where can our viewers find you?
Find me on my solo channel Nightster, obviously here, and you can find me and Riley on Megazord Radio, uh, going through the Power Rangers series episode by episode, giving our thoughts and our ratings. So
We're so close to being done with season 1.
we are,
So close.
yeah, it's been a wild ride, season 1. Um, and where can they find you?
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. Podcast, YouTube channels, all sorts of fun stuff for your ear holes and eye holes. Go there, check it out.
Do so. But yeah, that will do it for this episode of Toku Thrills GoZyuger review season thing series. Awesome. Check out the links that we have um in the description and just said. But until next time, we will see you guys later. Adieu.
Bye.